Good evening and welcome to the legendary Gold Coast Hotel and Casino and National Finals Tonight. Brought to you in part by Jack Daniels, Coors, Pendleton Whiskey, Boot Barn, Cooper Tires, Ram Rodeo, Justin Boots, the American Paint Horse Association, Preefert, Classic Leather Designs, Crucian Rum, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, J.W. Brooks Hats, Wrangler, Montana Silversmiths, Seagram's Gin, and Boyd Gaming. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Boy, what a good-looking crowd this is, huh? Up here's a little shaky, but the rest of you, this is a good-looking crowd here this evening. We are so glad to have you here. Round number 9 in the books. Are you ready to have a good time this evening? We are so honored that you have. And boy, you're here on a great night. We want to get things kicked off here and get our co-stars out here and get things going as we start this National Finals tonight for round number 9 on behalf of Boyd Gaming. Let me introduce you to the first 8-time world cowboy champion that we have. In the bull riding, he needs no introduction. Donnie Gay is in the house tonight. Donnie.
All right. Yeah, it's Friday, buddy.
Look at that young man right there.
I'm taller than somebody already.
Oh.
I'm glad you're here, buddy.
It's good night, huh? How are you?
I'm good.
Your mother-in-law made that vest too, didn't she?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah. Tell me what this patch is that you have
Another
here.
Another shower
Curtain bites the dust. This patch right here, Donnie. I know
well,
it
it's
means
the
a lot.
Seminole Tribe of Florida logo, and of course they're who brings us the television on GAC, and you know it's just without the Seminoles this last 4 years we've enjoyed a great partnership. They've furnished a lot of money, a lot of television. For the Extreme Bulls and all of Pro Rodeo, and you know, really appreciate it. I know I was looking around to see if I could see Richard Bowers. I know he's here. So, there he is. Richard, would you stand up, President of the INFR, and my friend Richard Bowers?
Yep. Very good. We're glad to have you here this evening as always,
Thank you.
Richard. Let's bring out our other co-host here. He also is an 8-time world champion cowboy, member of the Hall of Fame. Joe Beaver is here this evening, right here. Joseph?
He's the biggest one.
Since I forgot T-shirts tonight, I'm just going to throw Donnie to y'all. Y'all throw him back if y'all want him.
That's what I was afraid of.
Let's throw that vest, but they would throw that back.
I got to go home.
Hey, they'll cut the patch off and send the vest back.
It was an exciting night. I want to tell you while you're sitting out there, if you would like to call home and tell somebody to tune in and watch you, we are going out live on the World Wide Web.
I want to call home and get some help.
Do you? It's going to be a rough night. You
Hey,
can
Dan,
tell already.
we can call Boyd. Boyd will be here.
Oh, great.
It'll be good. Here's our address on the World Wide Web. It's boydgaming.com/NFT. And when you get home, if you would like, all these shows are cataloged on there as well. This is our 9th one of the series here for this year, show number 49 in our overall National Finals tonight. And also, if you have questions tonight, we've been getting great questions from the audience and actually from some of the people watching on the World Wide Web. Here is the phone number if you want to text a question. It's 702-LUCK-NFT. Or 702-582
there you go.
5638. 702-582-5638 if you'd like to send up a question to us here this evening. It was a great night of rodeo action. A lot of things happened tonight, a lot of big changes. How many watched the rodeo tonight? Were you there live? Outstanding. And in case you missed it on television, Donnie mentioned GAC is the home for the National Finals Rodeo, and they are setting all kinds of records for ratings on there. Best ratings they have ever had on GAC.
Yeah, they've been great to work with, and they give you a little more time and a little more room and a little more freedom, and you guys are enjoying it. We're getting emails by the dozen, so GAC, thanks.
It's a good thing. If you missed the rodeo tonight, we put a highlight package telling you about the winners, and Donnie and Joe are going to do it for you live even as we speak. Round number 9, guys. Let's roll it. Donnie, Joe, have at it.
All right, well, let's get going with the bareback riding. This guy's been here before, Casey Coletti, and the horses in the bareback riding, Joe, these were the ones that they want. These are the horses that they like. Check the timing out. I mean, this is just absolutely picture perfect. Casey, he had what they termed it a minor concussion. I don't know how they determine whether that's 2 or 3. I don't, can you see this? No, you're good. That's what they said. But look at the spur ride, then the timing. Look, is that horse having fun? You can't make a horse buck. If they want to, they can buck like that.
In the steer wrestling, 3 of them came to town tonight. First win for Casey Martin. Man, yay, hey. This boy's had a long week. First year at the national finals. He makes a great run tonight, 3-6, right at the first of the field. Then you got to sit and watch everybody. The difference is tonight, Martin finally gets that steer's head pulled across his body early, so when he goes for the nose and throws him, momentum lays him down. He gets a fast flag. He's not out of the arena long. Here comes big Jake Reinhardt. Jake runs his steer a little bit farther, takes his head away, and almost knocks him down.
I thought he did.
It was close, and when I'm talking about, if you catch a steer and drive his front end on his belly to the ground, they won't flag you, but right there, he hooks up just fast enough. In other words, he has to race to grab the nose in time to get a flag. But then the big booty shuffle wasn't done. This man right here needed this run to seal a chance to, not seal, but to have the best chance to win the gold buckle. And he almost messes up. Watch. He doesn't, but he takes his steer's head. This steer tries to go down behind him. The steer's butt drug, and Luke had to drag his butt around to lay him down. Barely got the flag.
I thought being big really helped him on that run.
It finished the runs, what it did. In the team roping, it was tough. Chad and Jay, they finally got it together tonight. 3.6. 3.6 wins a go-around. Jay's been telling everybody he's going to head, but after that shot tonight, he said he's going to heel again next year. Here's the difference. Steer straight down the arena. Watch. See him stop his horse. He ropes on separation and the stop sign. When that steer jumps away from him, it's already tight. When he dallies, they win the day money.
Jesse Wright is tearing them a new one in the saddle bronc riding. I mean, the Wright brothers, they've come to town, but I mean, now the Eliminators in the saddle bronc riding, they only rode like 3 of these dudes. This is a really good ride on a horse, but it never hurts to be a little lucky because there was some in there that nobody could have ridden. This horse, he rears out. You got to make that spur out. He does that, gets along really good. Good bronc ride. Now he's tied, or just about tied for the lead. He and Louis Field for the truck. They've already won $115,000, and that's not counting the average. That's just go-round money.
They're not done.
I mean, so they're going to need that truck is going to have to be a 1-ton to carry the money. That's right.
Okay, my boy LSU, Shane Hanchy, finally got things together. Watch this. Ropes his Kev, gets him turned around. Right here, this has happened 3 times this week. Watch when he crosses. See how that Kev flops his head? That horse is just a little bit light on the end of it. You don't want them moving them, but you want them to hold them so they don't feel like they can get up. And right here, when he feels it, he just mashes them down right there. See, that Kev tries to kick, gets his head away. That's happened 3 or 4 times this week. A little bit of horse causing it. Finishes up good, 7-6. Great run. Bell race, stupid tough this week, Donnie. Stupid.
I mean, the horses have all worked extremely well. The girls are riding good as they normally do, but the times are just faster. And the ground, I got to say, the ground's been better this year than it's ever been, because they've won first on the bottom, the middle, the top.
Doesn't matter
really
where they're at. If your horse works, they pay you.
In the bull riding, Cody Whitney, Oklahoma finally strikes a little gold here. RMEF. Beautiful.
Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
Again.
There we go.
The
They've won 2 go-rounds on this bull. So you want to term this bull rider-friendly, and the judges like him. You saw where he started spinning. He fades out across the arena, and he's kicking with a lot of timing. But watch Cody. He's riding he's got a broken navicular bone in his wrist, and I'm telling you, there's nothing on his riding hand. That's why he's had all this trouble, and he keeps going. He said, if I can just keep my hand shut, he said, I'm going to win some money. And the guy's got a great attitude. Now, he's the oldest guy in the locker room. He's just barely 30. But Cody Whitney, 90.5 points tonight. Great bull ride.
Now, will they fix it after the finals? Because that's a pin, bolt and pin.
I was going to say, you can't really fix that.
No, you bolt it, pin it, or go like it is and hope it heals.
All those turtles that got, the forerunners that started.
Yeah, when you shake their hand and their hands like that.
Their hands all like that, and there's big old knots right where your watch goes and stuff. That just means that you're used to rodeo. Well, that's what Cody's got. He'll have one too.
Outstanding. Donnie and Joe doing it for you live here this evening. We appreciate that very much. And we already have some questions coming in, and I think it's going to be a night of controversy questions as we go along here. But this one, Joe, is pretty easy. Do you know if any of the team roping teams will be changing partners next year?
Sounds like a dance.
Well, you know, last year it was kind of the Desperate Housewives. There was so much wife swapping going on. Is it going to change?
You won't know until the books close for Denver, because here's the deal. They'll tell you that everything's hunky-dory happy and they're winning, and they can be planning on roping with somebody else, and you never know it. You can get, I have called.
You just thought you were happily married.
I have called to enter a
Happens.
rodeo with my partner, and he's been entered with somebody else in the middle of a 15 rodeo run. So you never know. It's a team event. There's a few guys that I guarantee you won't change, but I'm going to just throw it out there and say 6 of the top 15 teams will have new partners come Denver.
And we should tell you that Joe, we talked about this the first night, Joe is thinking about coming back and competing in the team.
Oh, look at him.
Here's the deal. If you get a chance to rope with somebody that really, really ropes good, it's hard not to go if you got good horses. I got 2 good horses. Chad Masters had one of them out this week. My other one's at home. You don't really have an excuse, and Donnie says...
You see how fast he's starting to talk now? He's thinking about it.
Well, money makes a man do crazy things, you know?
Well, from our standpoint, we hope you do it, Joe, absolutely. Now, this question has come in, and we've had this a couple of nights. 2 nights ago, Joe,
yeah.
in the...
bulldogging.
In the bulldogging,
Yeah.
couple of...
Team roping even one night? No. Let me answer that.
The question is, was the gate man having
yeah.
problems?
No, the gate man wasn't. Tony's opened that gate here for $1 million going through it every year. Okay, he's opened it enough for most everybody in the top 15 to kind of know what their look is and what's going on. If there is a doubt, don't open it, because once that gate opened, he's yours. If you've called for him, now you got a chance. If you think you did not or things fouled you to pull up, but then it goes to being a judgment call, and that's why we like to time the event in, because we don't have much judging going on. You know, so if you pull up,
that's no lie.
If you pull up, you're leaving it to the call of the lineman.
I've opened a rope and dog and gate,
yeah.
Joe, and what gets me is some of these guys, they're supposed to nod their head for you to open the gate.
Some of them's eyes just get big.
They go like this. They go.
Yeah. Or like here, what got Tony the other night.
Did y'all see that?
Or what Tony saved him for, there was a horse moving, like there's a couple horses bobbing and moving, and your head gets to moving, and if he's going to open on every one of those, he don't know where the hell to open it at.
No, and then they go, straighten his head up. That means you're supposed to straighten his head up, not open the gate.
See, that's why Donnie doesn't open the gate here at the finals. They'd have him stuffed in a trash can somewhere. But no, he wasn't having trouble. He actually saved two guys the chance of maybe, not getting a good start or whatever. He didn't open it. They blowed through the very big deal. Come back, let's do it again. He's done a great job.
Okay, we appreciate the question very much. So I think let's get our first guest out here and get things rolling along this evening. I'm so glad this guy came tonight. Go ahead, Joe.
Do you notice, though, he didn't come back till he went to riding and winning go-rounds? Because he's always a little smart remark boy, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And me and Donnie was laying for him, because after them, he come in the first night, he was here the first perf, and he comes out smart, wise ass, and me and Donnie. That's what he does. And then he bucked off at 2 or 3, we couldn't find him. Now he's winning everything. He just calls wanting to come back.
Yeah, it was 2 buck-offs, and you think, well, gosh, it's been kind of pleasant, kind of nice. And then he wins a go-round, and he comes back. That nice and pleasant went out the window.
He has been, I'll tell you, talk about tough. This guy is tough. And we asked him to come tonight, Donnie did. On crutches, I'll be there. 3-time champ of the world in the bull riding, J.W. Harris, is here this evening. Come on over here. Boy, trip a guy on crutches, huh?
I can take him now. I got him.
Those are too tall for him, but hold on to those, Donnie. That'll be good right there.
You're going to break his jaw with those, man.
The crutch is almost as tall as you are.
Don't worry,
damn crutches.
Don't worry, I got you. Hey, he's already mad at you, or he don't want to act like it, but that how many times is coming, maybe? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
4 times. This could be a chance, huh, Donnie? 4 times.
He's got to do a little something tomorrow. I think if he wins first through fourth, now this is real unofficial, because it's just been phone calling.
Donnie's figuring it's
No,
never
I
official.
didn't try to count it up. I mean, y'all, heck, the third night I looked at some of the guys, how much money they won. That was more. They'd already won more money in three nights here in Las Vegas than I win in the whole stinking year. So, you know.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
I remember it like it was yesterday. My story, and I'm sticking to
Yeah,
it.
and the story gets better every year, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. JW, first, let's find out how you're feeling. Everybody sees you on crutches, and what's the diagnosis on the foot?
This little piggy was.
We don't care about what goes on in the locker room, Donnie. We just tell us what the situation is.
I broke the third and fourth bone in my foot. I don't know. It's broke.
It's one of
That's
those
all I know.
tarsals that Tandy tried to tell me too.
Yeah, I just told Tandy, is it broke or not? And he said, yeah, it's broke.
And so did it affect your riding tonight? Does it affect when you're trying to spur?
No, not really. I mean, you kind of block that out and don't worry about it while you're riding. You can limp around and moan and groan after you get off one, but Tandy injects it every night to numb it up a little bit so I don't feel it while I'm riding. So, you know, they do a good job with, you know, keeping me going. So, but that had nothing to do with why I got bucked off tonight. Bull just beat me around the corner, run me off my rope, and just never give me a chance to catch back up to him.
What I'd like to do is show last night. Great ride last night, but it ain't over till it's over. You just had to make it exciting for everybody. But let's get that one up first and take a look at that. You and Donnie can talk about that, and then we'll take a look at tonight. But this was last night.
Boy, the bull turns back to the left away from his hand, and it doesn't make a full round, and then kind of hesitates, goes back the other way. But look how far he's dropping. He's kind of rearing up in J-Dub's face. But whenever J-W is riding his best, and I know he's not going to, let's don't even talk about the get-off, but that needs a little work. But the way you're riding.
Just trying to sell tickets.
You know, I looked up the grandstands. You're doing a hell of a job. Because it was full. I mean, they're standing out on the parking lot now watching you, but you know, the bull was really tough, and that was a real different pen of bulls. Wasn't eliminators, and I mean, that's just a thank you Jesus moment right there, because he stepped everywhere but on your skinny butt. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was just bucking all around. You just kind of kept rolling around under there, or he was pawing at you. I mean, it was kind of wild.
I think that's what saved me from him really stepping on me. He just kept, every time he'd reach and try to pull me to him, he would just miss me with a front foot or a back foot or something. But, you know, that bull there, I hadn't really never ever seen that bull before. I've heard a bunch of people talk about how bad he was to jerk people down and all this, and there was a few guys not wanting to bring him just because of that, but, you know, that
He's bad to ride. I mean, you know, the bull's got a lot of drop, change his direction, and if you make a mistake, doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to buck off. I mean, the whistle blows, and you start to get off away from your hand, and it just stuck on you, didn't it?
Yeah, because when I pulled my tail, and whenever I went to go, I was like, you know, we're going to get out of here clean, and I was trying to figure out how I'm going to land without landing on my feet.
You figured that out.
So now,
that was a good plan. You just
So,
didn't
I mean, right on the back of your head. That was good.
I think
your foot was
Save the
okay.
foot, won't it, J-Dub?
Yeah.
That'll save your foot. But my hand hung just long enough, and as you can see, he jerked me down up underneath him. But you know, just it
Hey,
happens.
Donnie, that bull, because you talked about it the other night, same kind. That bull isn't nothing like the one we saw in the highlights.
No.
That bull, but if you ride that bull, you're going to win, because J.W., he was busy from start to finish.
And they got bull riding judges out there, guys like Butch Kirby, the world champion. He understands bulls, and 50 points for how well you ride. You hear us spout all this stuff off real fast. 50 points for the degree of difficulty, and that's based on the pen of bulls that's out each night. And that bull had a much higher degree of difficulty than the one that we saw Cody Whitney ride, you know, because if you're in the right spot on Bugle, then it's, I just call it, that's that take it away Leon, you know, and tip your hat, but just not too soon. But this bull here was trying to buck you off all the way to the whistle, and they're the toughest to ride. So he wins that go around, bucks off tonight, and what I was going to say a while ago, he's got a really good shot at winning the world championship. But if I've said it all week long, this title has been Shane Proctor's to win or lose, depending on how well he rides. You know, so each guy's trying to take care of their business, and I got to say that his demeanor in the locker room, yours and Shane's, has been as good as I've ever seen in a race where either guy can come and get it if you really make a mistake.
Well, and it, you know, like I say, it's been a fun NFR this year. The last 2-3 that I've won, I've had them won by the 9th round, and it's been done and over with. But you know, this year it's been a blast because it's come down to every bull matters here, and you know, and it's kind of neat to be a part of something that's that cool. You see all the, you know, the races whenever Tuff and Ty and all them guys were going. You know, it come down to the last bull, and that bull meant something. And you know, you always want to be part of something cool like that, and you know, it's been a lot of fun.
It's been great watching as well. We've got tonight's bull ride as well queued up.
This bull right here. Now I heard in the stock contractors, they vote on what the rank of stock at the NFR is, and that's a $10,000 bonus. This bull right here is in the top 3 for the bucking bull of the NFR based on his first trip. Now that he's bucked off the reigning and 3-time world champion, don't be surprised if this bull is not voted the toughest bull out of the 100 at the NFR this year.
And you know, and I've been on that bull before, and he's done the same thing to me now both times. He just has such a wicked corner, like we was talking about back there in the back, and then after that he's just 100 miles an hour and never gives you a chance to catch back up to him. And I think instead of
see how he kicked his legs loose, Joe, whenever that bull runs him off his rope. Most guys clutch. And I'm sitting there going, he has a chance. I'm going to watch him kick loose with his outside foot, and he's off his rope about 4 or 5 inches. But you've heard at this level, when the bulls are this good, if you make a mistake just like in the tie-down roping, I mean, fumble one time, you're out of the picture that night.
You know, in hindsight now, watching it back, I probably should have kept a hold of him to get around that first corner and then kick loose. And as soon as he turned his head, I was kicking loose because I knew he was going to be fast and I was going to have to be going to him. But next time we'll try to keep a hold of him just to get around that corner.
To stay up on your rope.
Yeah, because he's kind of moving forward just enough to run you off your rope to get around that corner. And you got to really keep a good hold.
You know, and you can't imagine how close JW was to riding that bull. I mean, just a little bit. You would have, because you're jumping, you're trying to use the bull's momentum to get you back up on that rope, and you almost made it right there. You got within, you know, 2 or 3 inches, and it was close, but still no cigar tonight, but you can get 2 of them tomorrow.
Yep.
2 things I want you to comment quickly on. One, to me, the bullfighters have been extraordinary this National Finals.
Yeah, you know, them guys have done a great job all year long, you know, and, you know, that's why they get picked to be here, because they're the best that there is out there. And, you know, and it's just that they know that I'm not going to get up and move very fast because, you know, it's kind of hard to get up. But so they do a really good job of trying to keep making sure that I can get out of there safe, you know, as long as I'm not up underneath him, laying there trying to kick him or something.
I've heard rumors that Diefenbach's considering retiring. Is that true?
You know, the guy's been so good for so long, and I've heard him. He's kind of mentioned it here and there, and you know, if he does, he's done a great job. And
he's gonna be here tonight. I asked him if he'd come on the show tomorrow, and he agreed to. But I just was wondering if, you know, because inside the locker room there's they're not rumors usually, but. You know, and I got to say, and I'll say it publicly. I'll say it again tomorrow to all of the guys in the locker room. But I so appreciate you guys letting me. That's where I do all of the before the rodeo interviews and the stand-ups and stuff. But I really enjoy being allowed by you guys to be a part of y'all's locker room at the NFR, and so that's pretty special to me.
And you know, we love having Donnie in the locker room. It's kind of cool because I mean he's a Hall of Fame bull rider.
He's been there. He's been in your situation.
He's been there and he's done that, if he tells you such good stories in the locker room. I mean, they're priceless. And
seeing that, like he says, never let what do you say? Don't let a lie ruin a good story.
Don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
You know, but he always tells such good stories, and if you got a question, you know, about something that's been going on or you need help with it, you tell him, and he'll tell you straight up whether you need to toughen up or not, and he needs to have a talk with somebody. I know that.
Hey, let me tell you what. Speaking of toughen up.
Segue.
Speaking of tough up, we'll go this way with it instead of the other way. If he wins a gold buckle, or if he bucks off tomorrow night, you got to remember, he's won a lot of money with a broke foot right here, and that's not quitting. And I hate quitters, and I hate people that blame stuff on injuries. JW hadn't done either one, so I'm all right regardless, babe.
Well, he's done such a good job at being a professional bull rider. You know, and there's a difference. There's a lot of guys that got a hat on and drag a bull rope around that's got some talent, but that's not impressive at all to me. This guy here is the total package.
He is, and I'm honored you came tonight, JW. We'll have the best wishes
Thanks
for you
for having
tomorrow
me.
night as well. JW Harris, right here, three-time champ of the world.
I am standing up. Come on.
We have lots of folks here. Donnie, you have some friends here in front, too, that you wanted to recognize. Cliff,
Marguerite, is Brenda May sitting over there with y'all? We got an NFR barrel racer just out here in the crowd. Would you stand up and wave to the crowd for us?
Quit hiding
on,
down
Brenda.
there.
right there. Brenda Mays. Outstanding. This gentleman, we've just been, they just told me in my ear that he is here, and I am so glad that he is
He
here.
just texted Joe and said, quit looking at your phone. I'm here.
He's here.
You don't ever know about this guy. I mean, he's in my phone as SLB and it in for sweet little boy.
And we don't even have to give him any introduction. We're just honored that he's here. Trevor Brazile is in the house tonight here. Yes. Yeah.
Like I said, some of the locker room stories are really a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you could see him back there texting you during the waiting for you.
Yeah, I mean, he tells you he's going to show up, you know it, but you just don't never know when. You just never know. And I tell you something else that I'm proud of him about. This isn't the best national finals he's ever had or ever going to have. And he told me 3 nights ago, I said, hey, can you come? He said, I'll be there Friday. You know, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. When you got your stuff together and you're doing all you can do all week, things go bad, it doesn't matter. You do what you say you're going to do. That's one thing about Trev. He does what he says he's going to do.
Awfully good, too.
He asked me to come on the show. He didn't ask me to show up early.
Touche.
And I see that shirt you're wearing, Trevor. That's a designer shirt, isn't it?
I'm
Don't
really glad
start.
you
Let's
guys got me
start.
started on this.
Hold on. Don't take the credit, because Shatta did all this. You didn't do none of this.
This is the Trevor.
Wrangler, Relentless shirts by Wrangler and Relentless outerwear by Cripple Creek. And I just want to thank everybody that supported the Relentless brand. We've had a blast putting it together. And I just want to thank you guys for Joe.
I was going to give it to the crowd.
Joe tries to get off of my jacket.
You didn't need to worry about it, because I'm pretty sure that wasn't going to fit.
No, but I knew 3 or 4 people out there would sure give a lot of money for it.
Well, I see a little man right here with cactus ropes on his shirt. They were the first licensee with ropes, and it went so well. And then we went to horse protection and saddles. And I just want to thank all the fans that have supported me and my brands throughout my career, and I thank you.
Yep. Well, the thing is, Trevor, this is a career that's got a long way to go. What I want to ask you now is these records 9 times all around and the 16 gold buckles. Does the pressure now, do you feel less of that on you? Is it kind of a relief?
Well, these guys up here, you know, they know what I'm talking about. You know, it seems like when you win your first gold buckle, that's the biggest step you can get to, because no matter whether you do anything else in your career or not, when you show up at a rodeo, you're a world champion. And it seems like the more you pile them up, it doesn't matter if you're going to small town USA or if you're at Las Vegas, Nevada. Those guys pay pay admission to come in there and watch you win, and they should expect you to win just like they do, you know, in every sport. And luckily for you guys, not for us, we don't get paid unless we win, and that's what I call, you know, the purest sport, and we're the only ones out here still doing it like that. The baseball players get paid no matter what, and we get paid when we win, and y'all buy a ticket to see that, so we try to do that for you guys.
Hey, and I'm going to tell you something else. It all starts when you're about that size. You know, I mean, the first time I saw Trevor, he was about his size right there, dragging a rope around, roping everything, you know, just like I had done, everybody else. But it starts there, and it never stops, because it's just like he said, it's small town USA. If you enter that rodeo, you expect to win. So you don't expect to show up and not win, and you're giving the people what they want to see. And this week, you've given some they wanted to see, and some they want their money back on tickets. You know.
I was just sitting here thinking, gosh, I was at Casper, Wyoming one time, and this bull jumps out and turns back, and I mean, I had to get up where they could shut the gate. I mean, bucked me off so quick. I mean, it didn't even get started, and I'm going back, and I'm really dejected. I've sat down on a little bench behind the buck and shoots, but people could come back there, and I sat down there just for a second, and this little guy walked by, and he said, "What's your name?" I went, "Don Gay." "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm the world champion bull rider." He said, "Really?"
Well,
So yeah, I mean, sometimes they want their money back.
that's the way it is. To, you know, to whom much is given, much is expected, and that's the way it's supposed to be. And I sure don't like going out there and not performing the way I have in the calf roping this week. Team roping, you know, it's been good. I always want it to be better, but my partners rope great, and we've put ourselves from a ways back to a chance for another title this week. So it's still exciting. We got to crunch numbers, or when Joe leaves, he's going to crunch some numbers.
Yeah, we're going to crunch him hard. I'll let him know. I thought last night, and nothing against, because, I mean, y'all were making a move. Last night, if y'all catch that steer last night, then you're on easy street, because it backs him off a little bit where you don't have to win tonight and tomorrow night to get a chance to crawl back up there and get a buckle. But, you know, everybody said tonight, you know, you broke a barrier. Well, you know what? You had to be what were you going to win anyway, fourth with 4 flat? You know, he had to win something tonight to make a move, and when you break a barrier, it just happens. You're trying to win. You can't go out there and not break a barrier, or, you know, Cody O missed tonight trying to win. I've had 40 people text me, "What kind of throw was that? What was he thinking?" Well, from your couch position, it looked a lot easier, you know? I mean, I had one guy text me.
Touche!
I had one guy text me about him 3 days ago. "I think Trevor needs to do this, this, and this." So I kindly text back, "Well, being that Trevor ropes pretty good and has it kind of figured out, I'll be sure and give him your number so he can call you, and you can help him from your couch position." They don't get it, do they?
Well, they just haven't invented a horse that scores and runs and does everything as good as the easy chair yet. But when they do, I'm going to buy. I'll be the first in line.
Let's talk about the team roping. We've got round 2. Trevor, you're working round 2, and you'll see it on this monitor right here. You and Joe can talk about this run here.
Well, this is when it all kind of, you know, it started coming around. And look, we've heard all week, and I've said all week in defense of the guys, steers have little horns, steers are going left, steers are doing blah, blah, blah. But it's still, if you look at the final WL columns, this guy hadn't had any problem catching them. Turtle Powell hadn't had any problem catching them. You know, the guys that are roping good, they're catching. And this was a run that kind of set things up.
Yeah, it kind of started off our week. We may have won 6th the first night, but this really got us rolling. And one thing me and Patrick have done is try not to ever get away from our run. We've got a run that works, and try not to get out here and get caught up in all the hoopla. And no matter what's going on out here, try to stay in our rhythm. And it sounds cliche, but you know, when you get a run and get a rhythm that works, you got to stay with it. And I've got one of the best healers in the game, one of my best friends, and it just makes it a lot of fun.
Hey, what round did the barrier get on you? What was that, 2 nights ago?
When I about fell off?
Yeah, 2 nights ago. Hey, I'm telling you, I've wished I thought to get you to pull it up. 2 nights ago in the team rope, and I think it wasn't that 7th round, 8th round, 7th.
It was.
He missed an 8th. It was a 7th.
Yeah.
Okay, Trevor comes across there, and I'm on my little deal watching the TV, and I'm not supposed to look up and stuff, but you can hear kind of when a barrier hangs or something hangs or goes across, and all I hear is "ugh," and I kind of glance over there, and he's in the calf roping position. He's in the right stirrup, got his rope in his hand, and his left foot is all the way back. I thought to myself, you had to either make a decision, get off, or throw it and hope you stay on, because the barrier got his left foot, jerked it all the way out behind him, and I'm telling you, he was almost doing the Cossack drag.
Oh, yeah, no, I stopped by, I can't remember, one of the rough stock rooms on the way by, and I said, man, my hat's off to you. My horse didn't even have a flank on, I about fell off.
But what you were saying just a while ago about you and Patrick staying in, the run and not getting caught up in the hoopla and keep doing over the repetition that y'all have acquired over time, that works in the bareback riding, saddle bronc riding, bull riding, works in every single event, and winning is always the same.
Let's take a look at tonight's run, Joe, and then we'll take a look at some tie-down roping as well. But let's take another look. This is tonight's run.
Okay, watch the steer. See how far left he goes when he leaves the chute? And we already knew this. We watched him on tape. Patrick has to get an early start because the steer goes hard left on his own. If Patrick tries to hold back and help the steer go straight, and Trevor dings it on him right there, Pat can't get there.
I just want to give the fans kind of a little insight to what we talk about. So we go in and watch these videos. The steer went hard left both times, and he left sharp, and he went hard left both times. The first guy lost his rope, just trying to turn back up the wall, and the second guy just threw it and kind of gave his heeler a bad handle. And all these things you have to take into account. You're winning the average, and hard left, you can't miss the barrier or you're out, because we're in a position we still have to win. And so it's almost like the lesser of two evils. You have to try the barrier on so that if everything works right, it's set up to where you can win money, and that's what we still had to do in order to be, competitive for a world championship. So I called Patrick this morning, before we knew we had this steer. I'd love to go out there and know that they were either right or straight down the middle, because then all you have to do if you miss a barrier is reach. But this poses a whole different problem when you have one that goes left and you have to be closer to the barrier. But I called him this morning. I said, what do you want to do? I've got a horse. My second horse is what we said if we get close to the end, we'll just stay in the average and keep going. I said, it's up to you. It's in your field right now. We can keep just making a couple runs and win the average and leave here with the $100,000 week and be happy, or we can gamble. And he said I haven't rodeoed all year to come here and win second. I said, well, that's exactly what I was wanting to hear. I just didn't want you to tell me that.
What I want to ask you
Calculated
about,
risk in a broke barrier tonight. That's all it was.
what I want to ask you about that story, Trevor, you brought two different horses for the team roping?
Yes.
And so what's the difference in
Well, I
those?
brought two horses for the calf opener. I planned on it, and Tuff got me talked out of one before I got here. But, that's just the way. This horse, he's really good if I'm aggressive, and the other one is just kind of my safety net. He's not as quick, but then on the flip side, he doesn't make things happen as fast. We were 3-5 a few rounds ago, and that's just not going to happen, when you're riding a little bit more conservative horse. And but that's what I said. I said, I can get here, or we can keep going like we're going. And he said, let's roll the dice. We're in Vegas.
Stanley, let's take a look at the tie-down roping now. This is second round. I think you were 7-8 on this one, Trevor.
I shriek every time you say tie-down roping because I can't remember a good run I've made.
They had to go
this
back
week.
a while to get this one, but it's all right.
This is from last year.
Yeah, thank you.
No, this is this year. This is.
I'm not here to make excuses at all. I've just done my job bad this week, and it's due to I'm a work ethic guy. I get my confidence from preparation, and my preparation wasn't here. I was having back trouble, and it shows that I just didn't spend enough time in the practice pen. I worked on my team roping just because I was healthy enough to do that, and I thought, there comes a time, when you're getting ready to come to national finals, you got health here and preparation here, and I've been to the national finals when I wasn't healthy, and man, it's no fun. I mean, my heart goes out to JW. You know, I mean, doing what he's doing hurt. I mean, that's cowboying up. But any way you can get around that, you know, I'm sure that he would have loved to have been able to get around that. And so I had to say, am I going to, you know, sacrifice a little preparation to be healthy at least, you know, because my partner, you know, he needs me to be healthy. And so if I'm just getting ready for the calf roping, it doesn't help the team. But I really had hoped for a better finals, and I started off bad with the barrier. I mean, just not doing my job. I should have known if I wasn't sharp, I shouldn't start taking chances like that and have a big check Sunday or Saturday in the average.
Yeah, but in your defense, let's talk about that too. Okay, first go around, we all know that's the easiest go rounds to win. You know, that's why Cody O's won so many of them. He goes at the first round. The first round, you took a dead cut at that calf. He didn't leave as hard. It's a first run. You know, a lot of them, we don't know how they're going to leave. And you break the barrier on the first one. Then it sets you, it doesn't set a normal person, but a person with a winning attitude and a winning desire, it sets them in a mode, okay, I got to make it up now because I've already set myself back. You know, you already know, and who you might win fourth in average with a broke barrier, but it does not matter after the first night. If you break the barrier, you're mad, you got to go at them harder, and that's when things kind of went to going wrong. I don't think it's as much as your health and not being prepared, because you're prepared from the neck up. You know, you will compete from the head down, you win from the head up. It doesn't matter. You can block anything out. But I think 2 or 3 times you've had just some bad things go wrong that could have made a $50,000, $60,000 week like that.
Tell us about the back problems, Trevor, and how you're feeling and how that, when that started.
It's, yeah, I came here in '07 with some disc trouble and just had a little disc trouble this time, and I tried to prepare a little different. You know, I didn't do anything to help it the last time. I kept, you know, doing stuff, you know, pushing harder, and this time I tried to just protect it a little bit more, and it's just choices you make sacrifices and gamble, and
birthdays will happen, and
yeah, they keep coming.
Yeah, but they're not close to causing this man to quit winning a lot.
Joe, both of you, will you talk about the round tonight and how that has affected everything in the tie down, everything that?
Well, it started out, but I always say the 9th and 10th round will just, like all the figuring in the world, it can just blow it up. Me and Donnie talk about it all the time. And I told Trevor this a couple years ago when he was about to win the calf rope. Wasn't about back and forth. I talked to him that day and I said, hold up, 2 calves. Go tie them down because anything can happen. And tonight, what would have been the odds if we just set up a table right out here in the gaming deal and bet against Cody O missing? It'd have been stupid odds, you know?
I would have lost what little I've won already.
Well, we'd have lost double that because I'd have double matched it too. There's no way you'd have thought that would happen. Okay, he misses. He gets a whistle, he's out. Okay, now it's just on a silver platter and we've handed it to Tuff. All you got to do is grab it and walk out because he had the second best calf or at least the third best calf on him tonight. He'd already come over there 2 times, and you know you talk about how far we let him. So 2 times in the box when I was waiting on during the bronc ride, and he'd come over to me and he'd hold his hands out like this much, and I'd go this much, and he'd grab my hands and move them in, and I'd grab him and move him back out, because I said this calf is slow. You just tie him down, see what Cody does. I never would have thought he'd run through the barrier on that calf after Cody missed.
Well, I mean, I know I haven't been in the mix of it, but the calf roping it's been great to watch this week. I've been a fan back there, you know, when I wasn't busy losing, and you know, I'm watching this race, and there's just a lot of stuff happening. Cody's roped great. Matt Shizawa has roped outstanding. Ryan Jarrett has roped, I mean, phenomenal. Clint Cooper is, you know, the dark horse in this whole deal. I mean, he's got a chance. I mean, it's a great race, and I mean, as a fan and for the fans, it's been awesome. And tonight, it just turned the cards even more because, you know, for what could have been a, you know, clean sweep for Tuff tonight, he just made it a little more interesting. And
what could have been a comeback for Cody?
Yeah,
he opened the door too, but that's why it's a 10-header.
That's what got Cody to the position that he's at. I mean, everybody can say, why did you do that when he was winning the average? He was winning the average after the first calf. But in order to get in position to win a world championship, you got to let your hair down. And man, he's trying to win. And like I say, if his goal was to win the average, I know Cody. He wouldn't have thrown that. His goal was to win a
And we
world
talked to him
championship.
about tonight, and he said, hey, before he ever went down there to the rope cast, I left the deal, and I told him, I said, man, rope up. And I said, Cody, get at him. He said, it ain't about the money, B. You know what I'm doing. And that's what he meant. It's just all about the gold buckle. I mean, he went to 25 rodeos. He came in here down a ways, and like Trevor said after the first go-around, he could have coasted from then on. But that's not what he was trying to do, and that's that paid performer. We get paid when we perform well, and that's what was trying to happen tonight. But did it upset the calf roping tonight? Every which way you could do it.
Yeah, and I've been a spectator, for Tuff Cooper the last, I don't know, 3 months. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody work at it the way he works at it, and I'm right there with him, and so I know how much he's working at it, and I can throw a rock and hit where he lives. So he has earned everything that he's gotten. Nothing's been given to him. He's got good genes. That's the only thing they give that boy. He has worked his tail off, and he's a class act
since
for
he
the
was
sport.
12 years old.
That's right.
We had him on here the other night, and I was telling Trev about how I could pull in there in the middle of the night, and he'd be up, and it's up there in the loft, and he'd be watching NFR tapes and be asleep. He'd be 14, 13, 14 years old, and just craving time. Come on, tie some with me. Come on, rope some with me. And he didn't win all he won all year, and get to that position to have that big lead where he could afford a couple rope rows. By not being prepared and being a winner and working at it. And he deserves what comes his way. It's like I told him tonight, he was devastated after he broke the barrier. He come run up to me, Joe B, you got any figures? You got any figures? I said, hey, hang on. There's still one more calf. It doesn't matter what the figures say. You still can win the last hole in the average, and you can win a go-around. So don't worry about figures right now, although I think they are really in his favor a lot, to like almost it's a lock.
Well, what I want to do, we'll find out, because two other gentlemen, Trevor, if you'll stay with us, Bob and Boyd have just arrived back here. So if you will, let's welcome onto the stage Boyd Polhamus and Mr. Bob Tallman, the voices of the National Finals Rodeo, and let's get their input into this as well. Stay right there, Trevor. You're good.
I'm so glad I'm not the latest guy here now.
Who could catch him? Tough.
Yes.
Matt Chazal.
It's a good
We were
thing
just
they didn't.
talking
It's a
about
good
it,
thing
Boyd,
they
so-
didn't pay it off last night.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It's a good thing. It's a good
This is
thing.
just
was
rough cowboy,
$65.
rough cowboy figures.
No, this is pretty tight.
$7,500 is what I had figured that Matt would have to win more than Tuff in the round.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That guy's
say
pretty
that
good at
again.
math.
Say that again.
He's got,
Boyd.
well, Matt's winning the average right now, because when Cody did what happened to Cody, then Matt jumped up to the number one spot in the average. That pays just shy of $46,000. You pay it out tonight, if you'll allow, just for the sake of, Yeah, we're going to pay it out tomorrow with him
Thank
winning.
you, Joe.
Well, look, right, he's got to win $7,500 more than Tuff, which means if he wins first, Tuff's got to win third. That's the way it works. It's
That's
simple.
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's simple math. Well,
I hope you guys got a ticket for tomorrow.
yeah,
It's going to be good.
I tell you the one that's
I can tell you that in that position, everybody really enjoys it that has a ticket, but to be able to deliver when it means something, that's what's really special. And I think everybody that's entered that's not in that position, they're as good a fans as any.
See,
anybody. I love watching
in those events where the clock is the judge.
Yeah.
Okay. Where
Yeah.
the fact that you're Donnie Gay doesn't get you two more because you already got 6 gold buckles. Okay.
How many?
You think? Hey, I take my foot off the gas on you at 8 shows. I'm not stopping tonight. But seriously,
Boyd gave me a watch this one.
so, what's interesting is, for example, take the steer wrestling. Number 1 is Luke Branquinho in the world. Number 2 is Jason Miller. And number 3 is Sean Greenfield. But they're opposite in the average. Sean's winning the average, Jason's second, and Luke is third. We pay it out tonight if you'll allow me. I'm going to ask that every time. Luke wins it by about 18,000, 17,000. So 215 and 198 is what it is. Yeah, tomorrow's a big day. Here's the thing. You ready? What separates them in the average? 2/10 separates Luke and Jason, and 6/10 separates all three of them. 4/10 between Luke and Sean Greenfield.
That's what I wanted you to say, because that will be paid off tomorrow.
Right,
night.
so let me say it slower so a bull rider will get it, okay? Okay. Okay. 2 tenths. See, there's 10 tenths in a second, Donnie. And team roping. Team roping.
I could get Fred Dutcher to come over and explain it.
Yeah.
Cheese in the head over here.
Team roping, it'd be Jet and Turtle, and then Travis and Clay, and then this guy and that partner he's got is how it would shake out right now.
Okay, and in the ladies in the barrel racing. Brenda Mays is sitting out here.
Yeah.
We introduced her a little bit earlier.
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, so
The barrel racing, I mean, really you'd have to have Lindsay just really stub her toe in a bad way. I mean, the two events that are probably the most secure right now are the bareback riding and the barrel racing. The all-around.
That went last. We paid that off last week.
The all-around's kind of like the steer rope, and that's gone like yesterday. It's gone like yesterday. But you know what? I was telling Bobby T before we started tonight, because, you know, in years past, you get to this point in the rodeo, and there's a lot of them done. You know, there's a lot of them done. And this year, there's so many different configurations that can happen, especially with a round left, Donnie, because as Joe pointed out, and I said last night, but you were too busy laughing at me, that strange things happen in the 10th round. Strange things happen in the 10th round.
Donnie tried to give us some math on the bull
Well,
riding.
yeah, and that was really difficult. I mean, give us some math on the bull riding, will you?
Well, the bull riding is Proctor's got a bull over J-Dub, okay?
Right.
Right. But J-Dub has scored so high on the ones that he's ridden, if he were to ride tomorrow and Shane...
He is going to place an average if he rides tomorrow.
Right, exactly. He's going to get an average check either way. But at the end of the day, it's Shane's to lose. Shane's going to
Been that way all week. Yeah.
It's been that way all week, but it's been ebb and flow. It's been ebb and flow because JW had a bull on Shane about 3 rounds ago. And so it's just been kind of back and forth, but it's still Shane. He's going to be the last one to nod. He's going to know what JW has done, you know. And
that doesn't make any difference in the bull riding.
No, that's right. You guys don't think. That's right. I remember that. I remember that now.
That's the dang truth. If you do, you've messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it sometimes doesn't hurt. Anyway, you should pick different talent for your show.
What I wanted to say, Bob
Tallman,
and
you
Boyd,
ain't helped me at all. What's the matter with you?
I haven't been asked to speak yet. I will.
No,
Where's the monkey?
What I
Where's
want
the
to
monkey?
say is, you see Bob and Boyd, these two young men that are right here,
Yes,
and they're
sir.
here to see Trevor here, and they're just hanging on every word that he's saying here. But I think what I'd like to do, Bob, is just if you can summarize here, and there's just what Trevor is, both of you, what Trevor has meant to this sport so far, and what he has done. So,
Well, just so these kids know, was it Nampa? Nampa, he was busy going somewhere, and there was somebody standing up behind us at the announcer stand, wanted to meet him. That's the thing about Trevor Brazile. He's never been too good for anybody. This is the same guy who was when, you guys talk about Tuff. Well, everybody knew Tuff was coming because of his talent and his ability, but it was the same thing about this guy. I remember hearing about Trevor Brazile long before you ever heard about Trevor Brazile, because you knew he was coming. But he's never changed. He's the same guy all the time. And you want to see him at his best? Put Treston on here with him. I'll show you at his best. He is. He's the best. As good as he is as a cowboy, he's the world's greatest father. He really is.
Bob Tallman, you remember when the AJRA finals?
That's a
that
round
year?
of applause there. That really is.
One time I flew to somewhere, and I was too young to get a car, and I didn't have a license. They take my license as one of them deals. So I get
Your horse was just a little sore.
Technicality. Yeah, they took my
I had
license.
to rent cars for him for a
Took
whole
my
year.
fake ID and my other license and my other name too. So I had to get. Tallman's the only person I knew in this airport, and he was going to the AJRA finals, and I jumped in with him, and he let me borrow his car that week, went around everything. This was the little guy like that was the champ then. This didn't come overnight. We talk about Tuff a lot, like Boyd just said, but guess what? This one right here started the same way. He started chasing him around when he was little, and the first time I saw him about that one on the left, probably his age right there, and it was started way back then. These all-arounds he gets, you know why? Because he worked 3 events his whole life from the time he was a little kid, and most people don't do that.
I remember when you won one of yours, and Ty was injured, and I can remember you going, "Hey, this ain't easy." 2 events.
The all-arounds
4.
are not given or won; they are earned. If you go practice with him, I go practice with him when I was still going a little bit. Man, he'll wear you down. You rope calves, you team rope, and you trip steers. Okay, that's all in a day. That's 150, 200 head a day. You know, he's talking about his little work ethic was down a little bit. No, it wasn't down. It was just normal people-wise because he was a little sore. Okay, work ethic at this guy's house and this guy's arena is about right here. And most people's is about right here. And that's why he's got so many of them. And that's why until somebody figures out 3 events or 2 events at the top of their game, they're not going to unseat this guy. He's our all-around champ.
I'd have got tired just saddling the horses that she's wearing out every day.
Go ahead, Bob.
I'll tell you 2 things. One that's regards to these 2 beautiful babies, right? Is that mama right there? You did good. 2 things. When Trevor Brazile was both of your sizes, okay? When he was both your sizes, his daddy used to bring him for 3 days, 3 long days to Fort Worth, Texas. We got a little bitty rock wall, and then there's cables and posts, old arena, Will Rogers. His daddy bring him to watch the slack. Okay, anybody could go to the rodeo. He could get a free ticket, his dad could, or whatever. But he'd bring him to watch the slack. He'd watch every event and memorize what they were doing. How old were you then? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, all of them.
He was all of those.
How old were you? Do you remember when you went to watch the first one? 8, 9, okay.
Does this remind you of Rick Perry running for president?
That wasn't funny, Donnie.
Yeah, we're a little
Go
sensitive about
ahead,
that
Bob.
down
Go
there.
ahead, please.
Listen, you announced rodeo Fort Worth to me. You know what the deal's all about. And when I introduce you this year, the first night, I'm going to say, oh, God, Donnie's water broke. He can't come out right now. So if you'll think about it, and you want to go to the rodeo and watch somebody rope, sit in the grandstand, take them to the slack and teach them how to get up earlier than you normally would, do your chores, do what your mama says. If they don't, whoop their butt. Okay? Okay? Don't take them to Walmart to beat them right at the house. Then you take them to the slack, and you sit there all day and eat hot dogs and whatever else, and you watch them guys. You watch them cinch their horses, because he learned how to cinch his horse riding them. We're at the AJRA finals. I started there in 1981. And Joe was wet behind the ears and every other place that you could be wet at. So watching these guys, and I watched the Roy Coopers and the Tuff Hedemans and the Cody Lamberts, the Carrillo boys. I remember the first time they brought Carrillo boys in there, I didn't know that we had midget bull riding. Adam and Gilbert both. But when you think about what they did in those times and how they won it, and I've watched them graduate because I'm older, not old, but older, and had the opportunity to watch it. The AJRA finals changed my life, changed my daughter's life. And there's a couple ladies in here tonight that I'm going to see when it's over that we lived in Baker, Oregon. We took them to Snyder, Texas. It changed their life. Now, kids out west don't have those opportunities. It's a whole different world, but it's dedication on just what Boyd is talking about and what we're getting to. Now, why do you want to emulate Trevor Brazile? Why do you want to be like him? A lot of the times it's because your mom or your dad or your grandpa or somebody else that has mentored you to be like him, a Larry Mahan, a Jim Shoulders, a Joe Beaver, a Donnie Gay, so forth and so on. When you make your choice who you want to be like, you got to make some decisions. You've got what he lives for, okay? He's a hero, but he's touchable. He has time, and I watch Larry Mahan do this with kids and old people. There are some guys that don't have time when they're champions. And it's not that they're bad people, it's just not their normal makeup. But sooner or later, he's going to have to get a real job and grow up and raise his kids and start hauling them like his daddy hauled him. You want to emulate people that you know are fully rounded in life. He's touchable. He'll sign an autograph for you. He'll sit there and take a picture with you when we're done. He's just Trevor Brazile. He puts his boots on the same way we do, one at a time. Except he's got one little spark that God gave him, and he's not afraid to say it in public. He lives the life, he walks the walk, and talks the talk. That's my story.
You know, the other thing, as you're kind of preaching, you're coaching, The other thing I think a lot of people forget is what they have to sacrifice. What they have to say. I bet you've never been to a class reunion. I bet you've missed dozens of weddings, family reunions. You don't get to do those things because, did you even go to your graduation?
Can't remember if I graduated.
He can't remember.
I'll tell you one thing, his
miss a lot
wedding,
of that, though,
his
don't you?
wedding was in a church that only held about 130 of us, but there was 1,100 people there. And I found out I couldn't outdrink George Strait that day, but I tried. But
Can't outsing him either, Bobby. I heard you.
When you, yeah, Rex. When you can fill up Joe T. Garcia's, that's a wedding, and all the other things. But to all the kids and all the people, parents, we talked about how kids are different raised today by different parents than some of us have had, and your dad being younger. Well, your dad's still younger than mine would have been, but that makes a lot of difference. So to the parents, I'm going to beg you. I won't threaten you, but I'm going to beg you. Do not push your kids to do something you want them to do, and if they aren't physically, mentally, or morally capable of doing it, let them do whatever they do, and if it's drive race cars, then you go to the track. Then if they want to play baseball, you go with them to play baseball. Do not push them to ride bulls just because you wanted to and couldn't. Look at John Grundemeyer. John Grundemeyer is the epitome of what Boot Barn has at the top end of management. He wouldn't make a pimple on a good team roper's butt. So what'd he do? He's got a house full of kids and with a beautiful wife and is a major businessman. Boot Barn, by the way, just thought I'd tell you about my sponsors.
They are here.
He used to be a sponsor, yeah.
Our time has gone here. I would like you to give these gentlemen up here a round of applause. And Trevor Brazile, if you can stick around, we're going to wrap things up here this evening. He talked about the Boot Barn. The Boot Barn is here this evening. We have folks from Coors here this evening that are with us as well, and all of our sponsors here. We were going to give away some prizes to you. We have great prizes to do that with. Here are our ground rules very quickly. One prize per person. You have to be present to win, and we go quickly. So when we call out your name, if you're clear in the back, come on, head up this way, and we will give you the prizes that we have. And we're going to start out with the Boot Barn, and man, we're thankful for the Boot Barn. They have been here since the beginning, Donnie.
All right, Janelle Graham, Fresno, California, you're here? All right.
Right. Oh, how
Look at
nice.
there.
Right there in front.
Not only does she do good work, she's lucky. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Dan, we have 100 stores in 14 states, so come see us someplace.
We'll do that. That's the other one right there for the Boot Barn, Donnie.
All right, Ron Kramer, Leon, Kansas. Ron, you here? All right, yeah, I see a hat coming. Come on down here.
Okay, I've got a couple of Wrangler gift cards here. And the first one, Donnie, you didn't give that one away already, did you? Nope. Darlene Smith, are you here from Clearwater, Idaho? Darlene, are you here? Coming right over here.
Here she comes,
There's
right
one.
there.
Donnie, pull out another
Hold
name
on
after
just a
this.
second.
All right.
Let me give this certificate. Thank you.
Okay, here's for the other one. This is, wow. Is that Amy Brady?
Yep, Amy Brady. And that would be Nortonville, Kansas. You here, Amy?
Yes? Yep,
Yep, here
she's
she
coming
comes.
right over here. I'm going to lay this right here on the stage for you. Joe's got a couple of certificates for the Justin Boots. Outstanding.
How about Steve Bayman? Steve Bayman?
Coming right over here.
Oh, hey, perfect.
Coming right over here. We've got a Justin certificate. We have one more of those here. This is it, Donnie? Okay. This is Mona Craner from Kansas. Mona, are you here?
Good one. Take it, buddy.
Yes?
Mona Kramer.
Yep,
Here she
coming
comes
right back
there.
here.
Yeah,
Coming
okay.
right back here. This gentleman right here, he won which? The Justins, the other Justin certificate. Yeah, we had a second one. Oh, it would be right here. There you go. Okay, and Mona.
You've been working with me too long. Yeah, part-timers.
Okay, we've got a certificate here. Here, Mona, this is for you. This is for J.W. Brooks for a hat. $250, a gift certificate for you for that. All right. Has Joe got something? Yep, all right.
Okay, Brent Hazelrig from Missouri.
Brent, you in here?
Brent Hazelwood, you're in here?
Coming
Come
right
on
back
down here.
here. This
Come
is
on.
again for another JB the hats.
Got another
of course.
J. Brooks hat.
Donnie, we've got a book here, Heroes of the Stage, and a CD that goes with that, and that's going to
Suzanne Cook, Stevenson, California. Suzanne?
Are you
Suzanne, okay, coming right there. There they are right there, Dan. Coming right here.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to set this, Suzanne, right here on the stage for you. We have a Montana silversmith. Let me have that from you, Joe. A belt buckle. Here, Joe, if you will read that one off.
Vicky Rooker. Vicky Rooker, you here?
Yes.
All right, come on.
Vicky's voice is a lot lower than you'd imagine for coming back here. Her husband, I'm assuming here. We have a Gold Coast vest. Let me hold that up. Joe, will you get that for him? This Gold Coast vest.
Who won? Bill Bentley, Roggen, Colorado. Bill, how many of these things have you won this week?
Where is Bill?
He does
I mean, you can
Christmas
win
every
one-
year
you can
right
win
here.
one time each night. And,
Is he here tonight?
Oh, yeah, he's
Bet you
here.
Coming right back
$1,000.
there. Here you go, Bill. I'm going to lay this
I'm
on the
not-
stage for you. He comes every
And see,
night.
yeah, and you can see he's sporting the other vest that he won just
Last night.
Just a couple of things to go for you here. This Boyd Gaming duffel bag, and I love this luggage here. Joe, who's got this going to?
That's only the third one. Is that's
Teresa
okay.
Klee
Teresa, are
Thank
you
you, Bill.
here?
from Window Rock. She's
Teresa,
back
you
there.
in here? She's coming.
Trevor,
All right,
why don't
got
you
the
draw the
luggage.
one for the guitar, will you? Would you draw that one? This guitar has been signed by George Strait. It's a Fender guitar. I imagine Trevor Brazile would sign it for you if you wanted as well. But this George Strait guitar.
Bobby, tell us.
Bobby, you in here?
Right there,
Come on.
Trevor. Right
Where we
there.
at, right here?
All right,
That's right.
coming right there.
Where's she from,
You drew
Trevor?
good tonight.
Where's she from?
She's from Farmington, California.
Farmington, California. Come on up here. Congratulations. This guitar comes with a very special case over there as well. I want to make sure I say hi to all the folks from Wyoming that are here this evening, from the Park County Travel Council in Cody, Wyoming, from the Best of the West hunting show that I host. We're glad to have you here. Thanks, Donnie. We want to tell you, when you leave here, we'd love for you to go upstairs to the Buck and Ball. They have been having record crowds up there. Donnie, Gary LeFew, the Ace in the Hole Band, George Strait Band is up there playing. We hope that you enjoy that. Thanks for coming tonight. We'll tell you we will be here tomorrow night. Thank you very much
Thank
for
y'all.
coming to National Finals tonight. Donnie and Joe will be down here signing autographs right in the front of the stage. They have pictures for you. If you would like one of those, these young men, they'll be doing that
Thank
right
you
here.
for
Thanks.
watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of National Finals tonight at the Gold Coast, where all the Cowboys go after the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been a presentation of Boyd Gaming. The fun isn't over yet. We invite you to head upstairs for Gary LeFew's legendary Buck and Ball. Live music with members of George Strait's Ace in the Hole Band. Dancing, beer and drink specials, a mechanical bull, and best of all, no cover charge. We're gonna party till the cows come home at the Buck and Ball.